Don't bother watching this video if you watched my previous upload with the poorly looking clickbaitery intro. Aside from removing the playful cat and footage of Mrs. D, the content remains the same, and that very important content being evidence of in-home and in-the-block spying, courtesy of the deep state, using what has to be classified surveillance technology, unless you were to a more supernatural explanation. Before presenting my evidence, I'll compare my paltry viewing numbers of that upload, firstly on YouTube and then BitChute, which I uploaded the following day. BitChute's numbers are far better, but it's still woefully short of the millions of views this video, the evidence, and the subject of covert targeting programs obviously merit. It's a fucking travesty, to be honest. For the uninitiated, those people unaware of dark operations sanctioned by the state, which is quite probably over 99% of the population, there's a global targeting program whereby ordinary people have been secretly selected by the deeper state, in effect to be guinea pigs for an experiment. This experiment uses strangers to stalk, harass, spy on, and often invisibly harm the individual chosen to have his or her life covertly destroyed. Some of those selected have no idea what's going on and remain ignorant they are part of covert operations, whilst others, myself included, learn they have been uniquely singled out for their new targeted existence. A single word springs to mind to describe some of the technologies and people involved in the targeting: evil. My other evidence-based videos, both on YouTube and BitChute, show proof of strangers stalking and verbally harassing, but in this video we move into truly weird territory. There's still verbal harassment, or directing certain words or phrases my way, but what's said has no obvious origin. There are no people seen or in the vicinity, and as I'm not inclined to lean towards any supernatural element to explain this truly surreal phenomenon, we'll instead look towards classified spying technologies. The separate video clips presented here, and which form my evidence, could be randomized, but I'll always hear whatever is said via these disembodied voices. If you don't hear what I've typed on the majority of clips, then what can I infer other than what you hear has somehow been tampered with? Powerful people and organizations do not want the public to learn about illegal targeting programs, and nor do they want you to know about the people involved at all levels, and the technologies utilized to track, spy, harass, and harm. I only watch and listen to videos using my laptop. I've no idea whether you'll be able to hear these freaky voices if you're watching and listening using a mobile phone, but you won't hear anything unless you wear earphones. When you're ready to watch, and more importantly listen to the evidence, you'll need to do so in a quiet, distraction-free environment. Repeat play those clips where you're unsure what's being said, and I've conveniently provided a timeline denoting when I hear a voice or voices, and I trust it will help to some degree. adding text of what I hear to the majority of the individual evidence-based clips and also adding a timeline was time consuming, and I'd rather not expend more time repeating this, so I've kept the timeline of the previous upload, which means you should forward this video to approximately 10 minutes 23 seconds, which is where the evidence of the disembodied voices begin. So please do that now, or you can watch a blank screen for 5 or so minutes, or you could make a nice cup of tea or coffee before commencing with my evidence. Thanks, and take your time.
Good girl. Come on then. Come on, Dovey. That'd go. Good. Yeah. Right. Yeah. A bit earlier now.
If you got this far, listened to my evidence and replayed those clips a number of times, and they would have needed multiple replays, I will thank you for your patience, concentration and attention to detail. But the trillion-dollar question is, on balance, did you hear what I hear? If the answer is yes, then would you agree with me it's one of the weirdest things you've watched and heard? One thing is clear to me. The assortment of voices heard can only be accounted for by some unknown form of technology or something paranormal, but I lean towards the former. The simple reason being the mundanity and familiarity of similar words and phrases recorded for people outside stalking and verbally harassing me. So incredible and strange that these voices in the flat and block undoubtedly are, they are just a surreal extension of my targeting. My next question is, which of the multiple strands that comprise my targeting are the lesser of the evils perpetrated? Is it the damning by the Metropolitan Police, and Peckham Police particularly, who have spread something repellent about me, not only to the residents here in Peckham, but that smearing travelling far beyond the confines of South East 15? Is it that I'm somehow tracked by strangers who will have been instructed what to direct verbally my way, be it something abusive or more threatening? Is it that sick bastards will be purposely moved into a flat next to me, or established tenants incentivized to become disgusting, malevolent mercenaries, provided with the means to locate or see me in order to accurately stalk and harass me in the flat with noise, abuse and torture day and night? Are these sick fucks provided with hardware that causes my skin and body to burn and receive deeply uncomfortable aches should I stay motionless, and the parts affected by the burning and aches are of course those facing these sadistic mercenary cunts? This year the burning sensations are now affecting me as I sleep in the car, and I've been sleeping in the car since 2017. I believe the artificial heat and burning from whatever is or has been trained on me when I'm in the flat has also caused a proliferation of veins on my legs and head, which prior to the targeting I never had. Still, on the question of which is the lesser of these targeting evils, could it be that I'm watched 24/7 within the flat and block, so have no privacy whatsoever, and just how many strangers are secretly watching me? If you've watched a couple of my other evidence-based videos, you'll know I am somehow tracked outside by a multitude of stalkers, and that the police are involved in trying to cover up the reality of this targeting program, but also engaged in dirty deeds, which include psychiatric reprisals. This targeting program is a horror show. It breaches so many human rights, yet it exists in so-called democracies. And after pondering these truisms, you might then be wondering, where are the journalists investigating this? Why do human rights organisations ignore such huge violations, and why are the police allowed to get away with covering up their complicity? You might also and very reasonably ask yourself, who isn't involved in turning blind eye to these illegal, torturous operations?